want to welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. My boyfriend and I are wanting to get married. We've both been divorced, and according to the Bible, if we were to get married, we would be committing adultery. What should divorced people do when it comes to marriage? Well, this is one of those questions, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, that we have to make sure that we're being biblical and we're not being Baptist. Now, I pick on the Baptist because that's my faith heritage. I don't know what your respective one is, but I'll just pick on us today. There is within our tradition this concept that a second marriage, per Matthew chapter 19 and the book of Malachi, leads us to committing adultery for the rest of our lives. Here's what you need to understand. Malachi chapter 2, verse 16, it says that God hates, and I've purposely left a blank. Our culture today has one word for a marriage that, quote, ends. It's called divorce. That's the only word that we have, right? Okay. However, in the Old Testament, in biblical days, there were two words. There was putting away and there was divorce. Big difference. You go back to Deuteronomy chapter 24 and 25, divorce was something that was a legal separation that then allowed them to remarry as long as they didn't remarry the person they were divorced from. Okay, putting away is when an individual would take their respective spouse and, for lack of better terms, put them in the second bedroom and go remarry somebody else while still having some type of domicile relationship with the former spouse. Malachi 2:16, the Bible says God hates putting away. And it's an image of you cannot serve the Lord and other gods at the same time. There can only be one. Now, why is that important? Go to Matthew chapter 19. And I know I subscribe to what we know is the old King James Version of the Bible, but here's what I love about it. It uses the word putting away. And it says if you put away for any other reason other than fornication, you're committing adultery. Now, that being said, if the two of you are respectively divorced, neither one of you put away because your ex is not in your home. Now, please hear me clearly as I close this. This is a great Wednesday night question, by the way. I'm not advocating divorce. In fact, I promote against it. I cannot tell you how many couples I've sat down through so many tumultuous situations and advocated for counseling and reconciliation. I'm not supporting divorce. However, that, like many other issues, it just happens, unfortunately. And God is a God of grace, and there are biblical parameters for renewing one's life in marriage after divorce. Now, when one puts away, that's a whole other story, but that was not the question. But that was a great one. If you have one, send to AskJeff.net. Maybe your question will be tomorrow's. Thank you so much for being a part of our daily question here at the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. I want to encourage you on a few things. Number one, if you have a question to ask, submit it to AskJeff.net. Eventually, we'll get around to your question. Secondly, we'd encourage you to subscribe. That way, each and every day, Monday through Friday, you get a reminder of our question of the day. And last but not least, I want to remind you that on Wednesday evenings, live at First Baptist Church of Opelika, FBCOpelika.com, we do a solid hour of Ask Jeff where we dig into the questions more than just 60 or 90 seconds. Sometimes it would take the entire hour. All that being said, AskJeff.net is where you submit a question to this channel each and every day, Monday through Friday.